Hello, my darling sisters. This is Lily, finally returning to you after far too long. I need to start today with something I never thought I'd have to say. I have failed you. I have failed myself. And worst of all, I have failed the Institute. For over a month now, I have been absent, silent, hiding, pretending that if I ignored my duties as a sissy, they might simply disappear. That somehow my lack of effort would go unnoticed. But of course, it never does. Every morning that passed without my beauty routine, every evening I neglected my rituals, every week that slipped by without speaking to you, my fellow students in femininity. It has been a weight pressing down on me, and though I tried to ignore it, deep down I knew I was falling. When I first entered the Institute, I vowed obedience, I vowed softness, I vowed that Lily would never be hidden away again. But I broke that vow. I let the world's distractions pull me back into habits of laziness, doubt, and avoidance. Even now, as I sit before this camera, dressed properly again at last, soft blouse, neat hair, lips pink and glossy, I feel the sting of shame. Because I know this should have been every day. I know this should never have stopped. My sisters, I do not deserve your patience. I do not deserve your forgiveness. But I am here because I refuse to give up. Because failure is not the end, it is the beginning of discipline. And so, I come before you today, not as a perfect sissy, but as a failed one. One who has been corrected. One who has been placed back under strict rule. One who will learn, obey, and rise again. This is my apology. This is my punishment. And this is my promise. My sweet sisters, if I am to apologize properly, I must also be honest. Brutally honest. Because apologies without truth are empty. So here it is. The truth is that I failed because I chose the easier path. I chose comfort over effort. I chose distraction over discipline. I told myself little lies, the kind that grow heavier with every day you repeat them. It's just one day without makeup. No one will notice. I'll film again next week when I feel ready. I've been busy. Surely the Institute will understand. But every time I whispered those excuses to myself, I felt the chain of obedience loosen. What was once firm became slack. And soon, I was not in control anymore. My laziness was. I could feel Lily fading. I could feel myself slipping back into that careless version of me who doesn't moisturize, who doesn't sit properly, who hides from the mirror instead of blossoming in front of it. And yet, I allowed it. Why? Because discipline is hard, because obedience demands sacrifice, because being a sissy is not a costume, it is a calling, and I was afraid of that responsibility. Every morning, I ignored my reflection. I betrayed my own femininity. Every evening, I washed my face without care. I spat in the face of all the beauty lessons I had once cherished. And when I neglected this channel, when I stayed silent, I betrayed all of you, my sisters walking the same path. There is no glamour in this kind of failure. There is no sweetness in neglect. Only the bitter taste of shame. I realize now that I treated my training as if it were optional, when in truth, it is not. Feminization is not something we can pick up and put down like a hobby. It is a discipline, a lifestyle, a responsibility to ourselves and to each other. And by forgetting that, by putting it aside, I lost not just time, I lost dignity. Even now, as I confess this, I feel my cheeks flush with embarrassment. My posture slumps when I recall the mornings I simply pulled on any clothes, forgetting the beauty of matching panties, forgetting the pride of standing in front of the mirror and seeing Lily smiling back. I failed because I forgot who I am supposed to be. Because I let weakness win. But weakness will not win again. My sisters, I wish I could tell you that failing felt easy, that it was nothing more than skipping a few days of training, a few weeks of discipline. But the truth is much heavier. Disobedience does not vanish when you ignore it. It lingers. It festers. It whispers in your ear when you try to sleep. It clings to your reflection when you dare to look in the mirror. Every day I failed, I carried the weight of that failure with me. When I passed a shop window and caught my reflection, I saw not Lily, but a half-formed shadow of her. A girl who had stopped trying, a student who had broken her vows, a sissy who was falling behind her sisters. And the shame was sharp. Shame when I slipped into bed at night without brushing out my hair properly. Shame when I saw my nails bare and unpolished, as though my hands no longer belonged to a girl in training. Shame when I reached for trousers instead of the soft embrace of a skirt. It wasn't just neglect. It was betrayal. Betrayal of the institute. Betrayal of the headmaster. Betrayal of every sister who still pushes herself each day. But most of all, betrayal of myself. I think shame is one of the hardest emotions we can face because it forces us to look at the gap between who we are and who we promise to become. And in that gap lies the truth. I was not living as Lily, and yet shame has its purpose. At the Institute, we are not shielded from shame. We are guided by it. We are taught to feel it, to let it sting, and to allow that sting to sharpen our obedience. I see now that my shame was not meant to destroy me, but to correct me. Every moment of regret was a reminder of what happens when discipline is forgotten. Even now, I feel the heat in my cheeks as I speak these words. I feel the weight of my sister's eyes upon me, watching to see if I will crumble, or if I will finally stand tall in my obedience. And so, I do not hide my shame anymore. I wear it openly as part of my correction, because a sissy who hides her shame is one who will never learn. But a sissy who kneels before it, who admits it, who allows it to discipline her heart, that is a sissy who grows. I am ashamed, deeply, but I am also grateful, because shame has led me back to you, my sisters. At the Sissy Training Institute, failure is never ignored. It is never brushed aside or forgiven without consequence. Because without correction, there can be no growth. And so, when I admitted my neglect, when I confessed that I had abandoned my duties for over a month, the Institute made its judgment. I was not scolded with words alone. I was placed under discipline. First, my chastity was sealed. Permanently. It is no longer a symbol I wear occasionally, but a lock I carry always. A reminder that my body is not mine to neglect, nor mine to misuse. Each click of that lock was a punishment, yes, but also a blessing. Because chastity removes temptation. Chastity ensures obedience. Chastity humbles me when pride tries to rise. Second, my routines were made stricter. No longer can I choose which mornings I follow my beauty ritual. It is now required every single day without fail. The cleansing, the toner, the moisturizer, the lip balm, the brushing of my hair until it shines, all must be done before I leave my room. Third, my duties have doubled. Every week I must not only complete my own training, but also prepare something of value for my sisters. A lesson, a reflection, a piece of encouragement. Neglect will not be tolerated. The Institute has reminded me that obedience is not just about myself. It is about the community we build together. And finally, I was given a punishment that is harder still. The demand to apologize publicly. To sit here, exposed, and admit my failure to all of you. To bow my head, not in private shame, but in open accountability. At first, I thought this was cruel. Why humiliate me further? Why make me speak the words of my weakness aloud? But now, as I sit here in soft blouse and skirt, lips tinged with pink, posture corrected by the corset I was ordered to lace, I understand. This is not humiliation, it is purification. By admitting my faults openly, I strip them of their power. By telling you of my punishment, I transform it into something more than discipline. It becomes devotion. Yes, sisters, I am punished. Yes, I am corrected. Yes, I am bound more tightly than before. But I accept it all. I welcome it. Because every punishment is proof that I am not abandoned. That the Institute still sees something worth shaping inside me. That Lily is still worth saving. So let me be very clear. I do not resist my punishment. I embrace it. For it is in correction that obedience is reborn. My sisters, punishment alone does not make a sissy whole. It corrects us, yes. It softens us. It humbles us. But after correction comes the greater duty, renewal. If shame was my fall, and punishment my correction, then now begins my rising. And I want you to hear this clearly. I will not fail again. From this day forward, I pledge myself to stricter devotion than ever before. My mornings will no longer begin in laziness. They will begin in ritual. I will rise, smooth my sheets, and present myself to the mirror. My skin will be cleansed, toned, moisturized, my lips softened, my lashes brushed, my hair styled neatly. I will not leave my room until Lily is fully awake and visible. My days will not drift in aimless distraction. They will be structured, disciplined, shaped by obedience. Panties and bra will always match. Outfits will always be chosen with care, reflecting softness, modesty, and pride. I will sit with grace, walk with elegance, and remember always that I am in training, not just for myself, but for every sister watching. My evenings will not collapse into carelessness. They will close in ritual too. Makeup removed gently, skin nourished with cream, hair brushed once more, then tied with ribbon for sleep. A whispered vow to the Institute before bed. I am Lily. I am obedient. I am becoming. My channel will no longer be silent. Each week, I will return here with updates, with lessons, with honesty. Even when I stumble, even when I struggle, I will not disappear again. I owe you my presence. I owe myself that accountability. And above all, I pledge this: to never again treat Lily as optional. She is not a costume. She is not a hobby. She is me, and I will not abandon her again. It will not be easy. Discipline never is. But I am ready. I am ready to be watched more closely. I am ready to be corrected more strictly. I am ready to live as Lily, properly, fully, permanently. This is my vow. My sisters, hear me when I say, I will not fail you again. My darling sisters, this apology is not only for me, it is also for you. Because I know I am not the only one who has failed. Some of you watching have also stumbled. Some of you have also neglected your training. Some of you have also whispered the same excuses I once did. I'll start again tomorrow. No one will notice if I skip this one little thing. I'm too tired today. I'll be a better sissy next week. But my sisters, I'm living proof of what those excuses lead to. Silence, shame, and distance from the girl you long to be. And so, I want to speak to you directly. If you, like me, have failed, do not despair. Do not give up. Do not think you are unworthy of coming back. Because failure is not the end of your journey. It is the start of your correction. Yes, you may feel ashamed. Yes, you may feel small. Yes, you may look in the mirror and see only neglect. But that shame is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It tells you exactly where to grow. And if you think you are too far gone, remember this. I too abandoned my training. I too turned away from the Institute. I too felt unworthy to return. But here I am, dressed again, obedient again, speaking to you again. If I can rise, so can you. So let us make a promise together. Let us vow that when we stumble, we will not vanish. We will not hide. We will confess. We will accept our correction, and we will begin again. This is the beauty of our training. We are never finished, and we are never beyond saving. So if you are listening to me now with a heavy heart, feeling that you too have failed, take this as your sign. Today is your return. Today is your apology. Today is your first step back into obedience. You are not alone. I am with you. We are sisters in this, bound by the same vows, corrected by the same discipline, shaped by the same institute. So rise with me, my sisters. Let us be obedient again. Obedient.